Happy New Year, 2022 is here, and it's a great time for looking back at the top 10 synth plugins released during 2021. To create this list, we ran a little poll where people could vote for their favorites, and this is how it turned out. To qualify for this list, a plugin has to follow a few simple rules. The first is that the plugin was released or significantly updated in 2021, naturally. Second, the plugin is a synth, not a sample player, effect, or drum machine. The plugin must run on multiple DAWs, and the plugin must not depend on specific other products to run. With that out of the way, let's get ready with some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list but still got serious attention. The freedom and flexibility of modular synthesis is growing ever more popular, as we will see in this countdown, and this new entry in the market offers a streamlined and great sounding package whether you're new to the modular scene or you try to solve your office problems using patch cables. Cherry Audio had a very productive year, releasing several notable recreations of classic synths at attractive prices. We could have mentioned any one of them, but this Oberheim 8-voice emulation slightly edged it in the voting. Hardware synth recreations are nice, but as the years go by, why can't pure soft synths become classics too? Predator is one such candidate for sure. Now in its third iteration, Rob Poppin's All-Rounder has returned. Now let's move on to the top 10 itself. We start off with Warlock by Tone 2, a fine combination of great sound and a simple interface, yet with lots of sonic potential under the hood. Add in a couple thousand presets and a fairly low price point, and what you get is a solid top 10 entry. Ninth place goes to a synth with a brilliant name. FM is Traction's take on frequency modulation, or FM synthesis, going far beyond the capabilities of the famous Yamaha synths, which made this form of sound creation famous in the 80s. It was a year of great FM synths, and FM makes the cut with its great flexibility and impressive modulation possibilities. Coming in at 8th place, Traction is at it again, at least as a distributor with their Hyperion plugin. Developed by Wave Sequencer, this is a modular playground without the traditional analog-looking modules. It may be a challenge to wrap your head around, but if you enjoy getting lost in evolving soundscapes and complex sequences, this one is for you. In 7th place, believe it or not, it's a third Traction distributed plugin, their highest entry this year. Made by Dawson Music, this visual synthesizer excels at drones, cinematic pads, and dreamlike textures. If you prefer working with colors to twiddling knobs, this could be the perfect synth to bring along on your spaceship. Back on Earth, we see the Synthwave trend making its mark on the list with the next couple of entries. Starting with number 6 on our list, Arturia's SQ80V. Not content with simply emulating the quirky and decidedly digital and sonic SQ80, Arturia went further and improved upon the original with a myriad of features that the original engineers could hardly dream of, like unison and a modern effects engine. It really is the best of both worlds. Last year, Softube's Model 72 just about sneaked into the top 10 with their Minimoog clone, Model 72. This year the model number is increased and so is the ranking for Softube with their Model 84. And in this case 84 refers to 1984 when the mighty Roland Uno 106 was released. Simple, but immediately satisfying. At number 4, it's the best placed modular synth of the year. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Rack 2 Pro by Virtual Control Voltage. It's almost unfair to call it just a synth, as it is a complete Eurorack environment in virtual form, with a massive library of modules available, including authentic clones from the creators of the actual hardware modules. This should scratch any modular itch short of buying the hardware itself. If you don't need to use it as a plugin in your DAW, you can get the standalone version for free. Just ahead in third place we find our final FM synth and also the cheapest plugin on this list, ChipSynth OPS 7 by Plogue. Instead of expanding the boundaries of FM synthesis, OPS 7 instead goes to extremes to recreate the exact sound of the best-selling OG FM synth, the Yamaha DX7. It also reads DX7 presets in SysX format, of which there are tens of thousands out there. Although the sound is authentic, Plogue has vastly improved the notoriously convoluted interface of the DX7, as well as adding modern effects and waveforms from newer Yamaha synths. The 80s are back, baby, yeah. This year's runner-up for Synth Plugin of the Year, according to you guys, is in fact not new at all. However, the rules allow synths that are significantly updated during the year, and Synapse Audio crushed it this year with not one but two major updates for their flagship synth Dune III. Adding cool new features like loading user samples and new filters in 3.4, 3.5 stepped it up even further, addressing most of the long-standing user interface problems with a new patch browser and drag-and-drop modulation. And as a bonus included a new patch morphing feature for creating new sounds at the click of a button. Synapse Audio's continued development of this now 3-year-old synth is pleasing for existing owners, and if you aren't one, then you're totally missing out. And finally, the winner, standing proudly at the summit with almost a quarter of all the votes. It's a comfortable victory for another big update. Here's Arturia with their newest incarnation of Pigment's polychrome synthesizer. Pigment 3 was released in April, and we even got an update to 3.5 just before the end of the year. Although most known for their software recreations of vintage hardware synths, it's Arturia's own take on the modern hybrid supersynth which reigns supreme this year. Vast in scope, yet still growing, this is one instrument you need to try for yourself. That concludes our list for this year. Congratulations to Arturia and the other developers. Thanks for watching this video. Give a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you agree or disagree, feel free to comment below. Have a fantastic year, everybody.